is a real strategic partnership where obviously we bring our commercial acumen and our ability to develop projects and to finance them. And they bring, an institution which is the oldest fully integrated fertilizer engineering company in the world.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. I'm joined by ATOME CEO Olivier Mussat. Olivier, very good to speak with you. A landmark moment for ATOME. What aspects of the deal are you most proud of?
So I think we're very proud of putting together some of the world's largest development finance institutions, the largest hydrogen fund with Hy24, the Green Climate Fund. Like it's basically, a $665 million package for a company whose market cap is, less than a tenth of that. So I think it just shows that we have a team who is a tier one team and is respected as such. So definitely very, very proud of that.
How important was it to increase your project stake to almost 30%, Olivier?
So obviously it's an asset we know well, right? I think our value add comes from creating, developing, and then operating projects. So from an investment point of view, it's obviously it makes more sense for us to take more of an asset that we know well, that we are operating. It's also another way of, continuing to align yourself and expose yourselves to basically a larger piece of the pie later on as you come very early on in the capital stack and you can benefit from the economics. So I think it's just obviously it's an economical reason, right? We know that the asset actually is going to be very profitable. And also, I think for us, it just makes sense as we want to grow the company from one asset to another. So obviously, you've seen it's taken a few years to get the project to where it is today. So again, absolute logic and absolute sense.
Interesting to see Casale invest $17 million into ATOME. What does that mean for the pipeline of other projects in your portfolio?
So, I mean, it's got two angles, right? Number one, it's making sure that during the construction period of our first project, Casale is fully aligned with the success of a project. As we've mentioned before, it's a fixed-priced lump sum turnkey contract, which basically means it's very protective to us. So again, it's another way of aligning the EPC with us. But as you mentioned, for the pipeline of project, I mean, that's a fantastic tie-up to have, right? This is a real strategic partnership where obviously we bring our commercial acumen and our ability to develop projects and to finance them. And they bring, an institution which is the oldest fully integrated fertilizer engineering company in the world. So all of that engineering capacity, all of that experience then becomes part of the ATOME team. So obviously we are very excited about that.
When do you now expect construction to commence, Olivier, and how long before you'll start production?
So the detailed engineering has already commenced, actually started a few months ago. From the construction, basically it's going to start with totally clearing the land, piling it, getting the site ready for bringing all of the equipment. Some of the remaining steps, as you would expect, we have now closed the financing. We will be sending out the disbursement requests very soon. And so the moment that money hits, of course, is the moment that we start construction because everything is ready to go in Paraguay now.
In the meantime, ATOME is going to receive management fees from the project. How much is that expected to be worth, and will that enable you to progress the broader project pipeline?
So I think the strategy that we've always had, right, is like you bring assets together, you put them into the SPV, you bring the right investors and the right lenders, and that SPV basically it's almost its own self-contained entity, but we manage it, right? And so obviously the SPV itself will remunerate ATOME for the time it spends on the project, managing the project, developing the project. So what it means is that basically it frees up all available cash into developing the next wave of projects. And so for us, it's quite important, right? It's all about, okay, you have a project which is well developed, well de-risked, which is going to live its own life. And then the equity that we raise, obviously this is what we just did, then can be focused on the next wave at a higher return for that money invested.
Olivier, the news is very timely, just given the impact that the conflict in Iran's had on both fertilizer prices and also the supply of fertilizers. Do you think this will remain a factor, and does it give ATOME a competitive advantage?
So competitive advantage is possibly an understatement, right? Many people come and go. We were the first one to really identify that now you can actually do decentralized fertilizer far away from places of political risk in the heart of the markets. Let's be honest, Latin America, 50% of the nitrogen fertilizers in that are delivered to Latin America come from behind the Strait of Hormuz. And this has been a problem for a while. It's only been magnified now, and it's going to be a problem that continues. So, as we like to say, right? I mean, number one, we were always profitable. This is always the way we look at things. It's not a green story. Honestly, it's a food security story, right? It's a security of supply, which is why we have all of these European investors and DFIs, which have brought in $665 million into a project because nowhere else than in Europe are people realizing how vulnerable these supply chains are. So what we've put together is unique. Nobody else has done it to date. We've done it with tier one sponsors, financiers, engineers, and so on. So yeah, we definitely have quite a head start.
Well, congratulations on this milestone, Olivier. I hope you'll keep us updated on progress.
Absolutely will, Stephen.
Olivier Mussat, the CEO of ATOME.